I remember it like it was yesterday. I got started and all I wanted was to be financially independent from my job, from my spouse. I wanted to walk into a store and just never ever have to look at a price tag, just buy whatever it is that I want. And today, the dream has expanded. There's so much more that I want, and this opportunity is helping me to do that. Financial freedom to me and how CBD does it: house paid off, car paid off, retirement full, and making sure I have real estate and rental properties to pay for my expenses. That's the new dream. Oh, hey, how you guys doing? Welcome to my crib. I thought I would do an online training from home today, so come on in. Hi, I'm Tashina Anderson, Diamond Senior Vice President with Oxygen. All right, here we go. Here's the first point. The first thing you're going to do is you are going to set a goal for yourself. And not just any goal, you're going to set a goal that is reachable. You don't need to set a goal to hit Diamond Senior Vice President. You might be new, you just got started. Let's set a goal of just getting to executive trainer. And not only that, ask your upline, how long did it take them to hit executive trainer? You know, beat their goal, beat maybe the best person in the company's goal. Figure out how fast it happened. Be one of those people that's on your game and you're ready to make things happen right now. So set that goal. Write that goal down. Where are you going to put it? Put it somewhere, but you have to put it somewhere where you're going to see it. Now, you got to know what it's going to take to hit this goal. So when you set goals, you write them down, you put them somewhere where you know you're going to be looking. For me, that's a calendar. I am still old school, so I like a simple calendar I can get from Staples. I like to put the position that I'm going to hit in that calendar, and then I start working on what does it take to actually get to that goal. Okay, so what you want to do is you also want to write down how many people and customers you need to hit that position. A lot of people don't even know what it takes to go from one position to the next. Go in your back office, pull out a spreadsheet that shows you exactly what's needed, and then write that information down. Have it there so that you know how many people you actually have to help in order for you to get there. Okay, so here's point two. Point two is you need to figure out how do you get to the goal. The goal, getting to the goal is really simple. I want you guys to know that this is a numbers game. What is it? It's a numbers game. So what that means is it's really just about exposures. And right now you guys have access to social media, online. The more people that see you're in business, the more people you can get this business in front of, the more people who are going to be interested in getting started with you. But don't just post something, don't just put something out there and maybe a picture. You actually have to contact people, you have to schedule a time with them, and you have to get them to see your business in a simple system, meaning you have to have their undivided attention. And then you have to make sure that they're watching the presentation. Then you have to make sure you're answering their questions. And then you have to make sure that you are giving them the information to enroll and go from one step to the next. Now, that's called the numbers game. So you have to know, okay, if I get a certain amount of people in front of it, meaning I get them on the phone, I contact them, I show them the plan, how many times does it take for me to get them enrolled in my business? Now, this is going to show how good you are at the numbers game. So you have to track your numbers weekly, okay? If you're putting this business in front of people, you really need to know where are you, how good you are at this business, and it's really going to tell by your numbers. So the numbers game, I don't care how bad you are, every single person, if you put this in front of enough people, what the numbers say is that someone is going to get started. You just got to make sure that as you're doing the numbers or playing the numbers game, that you get better as time goes on. Some ways to get better as time goes on is to be personable. Talk about your vision, your goals. Make sure that maybe you're connecting to their vision and their goals that they have for their own life. Those are important things to know, because if you want to get the numbers to go up, what you have to do is you have to connect with people. Here's step number 3. You have to maintain your enthusiasm about your goals. I know this sounds easy, and trust me, I've been in this business for over 14 years and my goals have changed, but it's not easy to maintain your enthusiasm. The more you know, the more your enthusiasm starts to go down. Meaning the more you know that this might not be a quick 30-day, 60-day business, that if you're gonna stick in this for the long haul, you have to learn some things, you have to get readjusted, you really have to perfect your craft. And when you start to get into that mode, your enthusiasm can go down. So how do you maintain your enthusiasm? I want you to remember what you really want from this business. And the way you do that is through a few ways. You can have an actual vision board. Have you ever created a vision board before? They're really cool. You get to take pictures, you get to take the ideas in your mind of things that you really want out of life, and you get to put them on this board where you're focused on it. Now, of course, it's important to have that vision board somewhere where you can see it, maybe in your bedroom, maybe in your office, but a vision board is really important. Another way to maintain your enthusiasm is to have some kind of chart. You know, I love to create charts of, okay, here's my goal. I've started at this point, and how far do I have to go? Maybe you have the vision of paying off your student loan. If that's the case, that's a great vision to have, but do you have a chart? Do you know how much your student loans are? How much of your CBD money are you taking to pay off that student loan? Do you have a time frame on that chart that says, I want to do it in the next 12 months, or I want to do it in the next 6 months? What is your vision, and how are you going to make sure that you create a chart to see your progress? So another way to have the enthusiasm up to complete your goals is to make sure that you have pictures. So pictures can go outside of the vision board. I remember when I was trying to hit Platinum Senior Vice President, I knew exactly which Bentley I wanted. I wanted a convertible drop top. I already knew what the color was going to be, but I had this in my mind that I was going to be driving around and the wind was going to be blowing in my hair, and I was ready for it. I put those pictures up everywhere. I remember even having a picture in my current vehicle right on the steering wheel. So as soon as I get in, I had that right on my mind. I would start making phone calls. My mind was just like moving as soon as I saw the picture. So pictures are really helpful. Even if you take them outside of your vision board, you can put them in different places. I also like to put pictures in my bathroom. I know that, you know, in my home, that's a place I'm going to go, if not 2 times a day, maybe even more. So put pictures in places that you're going to go, and you're going to have, you know, that's like a place you're going to frequently go, so that you can see and be inspired to get your enthusiasm up so that you can hit those goals. Another way to get your enthusiasm up is meditation. So I like to meditate every morning on what it is that I want. I like to meditate on what am I going to do that day to achieve those goals. What's the one step that I need to accomplish today? Who's the one person I can help today to make sure that these goals I get them accomplished? So meditation is really good. It helps to kind of lower your stress, and it also helps you to get focused in and bring your enthusiasm up. Okay, so here's step number 4. You have to learn how to present and train on your goals. Now remember your goals: student loan payoff, house payoff, I don't know, retirement put away, car paid off. These could be some great goals to set for your CBD business, but you're gonna have to train people. You're going to have to help people. This isn't gonna happen by osmosis. I just wanna let you know. You gotta make sure that you have people in your business that are just as capable as you are. So I want you to think about, who have you brought into the business, and how well of a job have you done at helping them to present it to others, helping them and training them on how to be better in the business. And this is a reflection of your leadership skills. So you have to learn how to present and train the people that are in your organization. Now you might be thinking, okay, well, maybe I have an upline and they train every single week. Maybe the company does a great job of putting leaders in front so that my team has somebody to plug into. But I'm gonna tell you this, if you don't start developing people yourself, you'll never be seen as a leader in their eyes. So you have to learn how to present and train to your own people in order for you to reach your goals, in order for them to reach their goals. Okay, so remember, you have to teach your team how to present, your leaders that you're developing, and you have to teach them how to get a customer. So some fun things we used to do in the past, where I would get my partners together, maybe like once a month. And when I would get them together, we would have times where I would train on things that I learned. I would also train on ways for them to present the business. So I would show them how to do it, and then we would practice. And everybody would get up, they would take a turn. It was so funny. I remember people would get up and they would say, okay, here's my name. You know, I would say your name, say where you're from, and tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do for a living. And they would get up and they say, you know, my name is Tashina Anderson, and I am a former school teacher, and I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. And back then it would be so nerve-wracking because they would be getting up in front of other people. But you can do that exact same thing now. You can have team events. You can invite people over to a Zoom. They could practice during the presentation. You can have them practice, you know, their name, where they're from, maybe their intro into how they would start off the presentation. They can practice things like that. It's still ways of communicating with your team, helping to develop them, but just in a different way, in a virtual kind of way, right? And then there's other things that we would do. We would have fun things that we would do with team. You can still get your team together, have something fun, everybody get together. Maybe there's movie night with your team. Maybe there is, well, you know, everybody gets on, they watch a movie, and then they all talk about, you know, what's going on with the movie. There's so many different ways that we can just take what we used to do before and apply them to the new environment that we're in, which is a virtual environment. All right, what we used to do is something called power hours, but what we're gonna do now is virtual power hours. So how is that going to work? The way it's going to work is you're gonna get your team together, whether it's one person or if you have 30 people on your team, and you're gonna do it virtually through Zoom. Get them together, decide on which product is the product that night that everybody is going to sell. Here's a suggestion, coffee. Coffee is a great product that you could have right now. Why? Because people like to drink coffee every day, and people aren't able to do it in their office. They're not able to do it with Starbucks. So have them do it through you. Have everybody on your team tell them exactly what to say. What are some things that they can say? They can say, listen, hey, I wanted to give you a call. My business, we sell coffee. We have CBD coffee. We also have regular coffee. I was wondering if you would like to support me and try it out for at least a month and see what you think about it. Have them give them a call, get the person's information, and then give everybody 1 hour to do it. Come back, figure out how many people on your team who sold the most coffee, and reward them. Reward them maybe with something like a Cash App. I'm sure they would love that, right? I know I would. Give them 25 bucks, whatever it is, to encourage them. They're on your team. That's a great way you could do it. Or you could do it almost like what we would do in a normal situation, where when everybody comes in, everybody puts $5 or $10 in the jar. And then at the end, the person that has the most customers takes the jar. It's a fun game that you could play. It doesn't cost much to play it, but you could do it now virtually. These are just some fun things to think of to make sure that you're training people and you're keeping them engaged while they're at home. All right, so here's tip number 5. You have to develop enough leaders for you to hit the goal. So in our business, we call it becoming an ET producing machine, meaning you have to really every single month, you have to produce enough people at least the first leadership level. So if you're just bringing people in and they're not having success and they're not making money, well, you can pretty much bet that your business won't go far and you won't be able to do enough to hit your goals or make enough to hit your goals. So what I want you to do is I want you to think about how many people you're going to help hit the ET level. We call it the ET producing machine. You have to be the ET producing machine. So every single month, I want you to set some goals of how many people you're going to break at leadership levels. Don't just bring people in. Bring them in and help them to have success. Now, every single top person at the top of the company, the reason they're there is not because they just were recruiters, master recruiters, or it's not because they were master trainers. They're great at helping people. And that's what this business is all about. So when you get that in your head and you realize that it's not just about, I signed them up, great, but now how do I help them to hit at least the first leadership level? Then what do? Go to the next level, and the next level, but it starts somewhere. So set a goal, next month is a great month to say, okay, how many ETs am I going to produce in my business? Maybe start off with the goal of 1 or 2, and then the following month, move it up to 2 to 3. But you want to hit some goals, you want to pay off some debt, you better help some people that have success. All right, so here's number 6. Tip number 6 is you have to believe in your goals. You have to believe in them more than anyone else, because I promise you, no one's going to believe in your dreams or the company that you started. Guess what? People start businesses every day. People join network marketing businesses every day. And I promise you, there's going to come a point where you're going to say, well, no one cares. Well, guess what? It's probably because they don't. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in everything that you envisioned from the beginning. And how do you do that? One of the ways I do it, and I'm just going to share something with you. Don't tell anybody about it because it's my little secret thing. But I take some time and I envision myself as a boxer. I know, a boxer. And I can see myself in the ring. I do this sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the evening if I need to pick me up. But I envision myself, and I even have the robe on, I have the gloves on, and I go boom. And then I go, you know how boxers, right before they get started with the fight. And this is what I'm doing sometimes before I start a phone call, before I start my day off, and I start, jumping around a little bit. Okay, all right. Today is your day. Today is your day. You're going to do it. And I start closing my eyes and I start envisioning myself as this boxer. You have to believe every single day that you go out there to make your business happen. And you got to find fun ways to do it. This is just my fun way. I don't know how you're going to do it or what you're going to do, but I'm just telling you, this is what I've had to do. And in 14 years, this is how I've been able to maintain my belief system in myself. Because at the end of the day, that's all this is really all about. It's just about believing in yourself. This isn't about the product or oxygen or CBD. This is about you. And you believing in yourself to know that you have an opportunity that could help you to achieve your goals. So yes, you have to believe. Yes, you have to recreate things and find strategies that's going to get you in that mindset every single day and get you to focus in on what you want to achieve. You want to achieve it, don't you? You still want it, don't you? Well, it starts with you. You have to believe. All right, so here's the last tip, and that is number 7, which is my lucky number, favorite number, by the way. And this is why I like this one the most. So you tell me which one is your favorite one. I would love to be able to hear which one is your favorite, but here's my favorite. Number 7 is you have to have the right attitude towards your goals. And before I even get started, what I want you to understand is I'm not talking about the attitude that you portray when you're talking to someone on your team. I'm not even talking about the attitude that you portray when you're talking to your prospect or your family member or whoever it is that you're speaking to or your upline. I'm not talking about that attitude, because that attitude, to be honest with you, is not the most important attitude to be aware of. The most important attitude to be aware of is the attitude that you know yourself as, right? Think about it. You might know yourself, or you might portray an attitude of, yeah, I want to have success. I want this business to work. But when you start really thinking of who you are to yourself, what do you say to yourself when the doors are closed and nobody's looking? Maybe that attitude is a little different. Maybe you're defeated. Maybe you don't believe. Maybe you even are saying to yourself, this is never going to work. Or how is it that everyone else is making it work, but I'm not able to make it work? Whatever it is that you say to yourself, that's the attitude that you have to watch. That's the attitude that you have to make sure that you are keeping a hold on it. And you are changing that attitude. Because that's the attitude really that is going to be the reason why you get results or you don't get a result. See, people think people with confidence are just confident because they are, they were born that way. No, people who are confident because they have inner self-talk. They're confident because they're telling themselves constantly, you can do this. You can make this happen. And if that is not the case, if somehow or another along the way you have self-doubt, you have reasons for it. There's a lot of reasons for people to have self-doubt. And most of the reasons are actual reasons. Have you ever seen someone and you said, wow, look at her. She's extremely confident. And maybe you're looking and you're like, well, maybe I'm prettier than her. Maybe I'm smaller than her. How can she have so much confidence? Because it's what she says to herself. It's what she tells herself when no one is looking. And what you have to remember is no matter what has come against you, no matter how many no's you've gotten, no matter how many people have told you that your business does not work, or you even feeling like it hasn't worked for you, at the end of the day, it's what you tell yourself. It's that, what? I know it hasn't looked great, but I'm gonna turn some things around. It's that conversation when you're like, okay, you know what? I haven't been on my best. I haven't done my best. I know I haven't given it my all, but you know what? Things are changing from this point moving forward. It's what you say to yourself when no one is looking. So attitude is the most important thing. I know you think it's the product, and I know you're probably thinking it's the comp plan, or it's the owner, or it's the company, or it's my upline. No, it's not. It's your attitude. And you have to fix it, because if you want to get to the next level, you got to start believing in yourself. And you got to believe that if you're going to succeed, you're going to succeed because of who you are. See, I've seen people in other top companies, and what I know is that you could put them in any company. And guess what? They're going to thrive. They're going to get to the top because it has nothing to do with the company. It is the individual. It's the person who believes in themselves that is going to take their business, no matter where they are, to that next level. So where are you? What company are you in? Or does it matter? You're in a great company with a great product, but none of that works unless you have the right attitude. So fix it. Fix your attitude. Fix what you tell yourself, because if you're going to win, it's really up to you. And just know, wherever you go, you're going to find you. So if you're going to be here, be here. If you're going to sign up and do your best. If you're going to be successful in this business, it starts with believing that you can do it. All right, now that I've given you 7 steps to take your CBD money and turn it into financial freedom, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, wash your hands, stay inside, and now that you've seen my home, it's time for you to build your empire from your home. Stay safe.